So, a lot of issues, things we have, we're just kind of happy to be there, right? We're just happy to get in the house. We're just happy to get through the information. So who in here, and this could have even been when you were with other companies too, feels like everyone always wants to post-date everything?
Yeah.
Martin, yeah. Yeah. Will, what have you seen this month?
Not this month, they just get paid, they just got paid today.
Well, May.
Well, I would say most people, yeah, there are quite a few.
All right. So, what are some reasons that happens? They only get their darn fixed incomes. They only get paid on the first and third.
Yeah, a lot of them I got, it wasn't, they try to use that as a reason to tell me no. So they're just like, no at first. I'm like, well, you requested the information, like, well, I asked them like something more. I said, I asked them how important is it to them. Then they say it's important. And I'm like, well, is it a money issue? And then they're like, yeah, I won't have the money till the third or something. Then I'm like, well, we can post date it, And
Okay.
I'll kind of mention it to them.
All right. All right, Joel, so you took a whole bunch of these. Why are people post-dating everything? Are you using Secure App? Nice.
Majority of the time Secure App, a few times Paper App. It's a combination of, we have this project that, surprisingly, a lot of people building houses. And if I wasn't there in that new project, I'd think it's BS. But that's actually one of them. Building houses, some crap that's happened with family. Something else is they're currently burying somebody that didn't have insurance.
So this is reasons they're giving you they don't have money or don't have insurance?
No. This is the reason they don't have it to go.
All
This
right.
usually happens once the sale's already closed.
Right,
It's
right.
just a matter of when do you want the first payment to come out.
Okay.
And then at that point, it's either toss it up or just tell them I'll come back or whatever the case is. It does none of us any good.
All right. So you wrote like 20 grand last month, right? What was it? About six? How much posted? What was your May production?
It was about almost 10.
Okay.
One said I got show credit at 8, 9. Something.
Okay. And how much do you have pending for June?
About almost 15. He said.
Okay. That's a ton, man. That's awesome. All right. So I'm not going to ask you how many policies it was because you don't know which data to be looking at yet. That's fine. So last month, so I'm working with same leads, same clients, right? And I used to do the same thing. I rolled a ton of business over. Ton. And it was the same thing. Why am I rolling business over? Well, because they're on fixed incomes. They don't get paid till the first or till the third or till the fourth Wednesday, or they weren't expecting me to come, so they don't have the money. What's the only common denominator between all of those?
You.
So where do you think the problem was?
You, me.
Not you, me. The problem was me, because again, that's the only common thing. I'm just trying to pull up any app, it doesn't matter. So there were a couple reasons. First of all, I had to start recording myself. A lot of it had to do with confidence, right? Because I didn't believe enough in what I was doing yet. It wasn't that I was, didn't think what I was doing was important. I just didn't know enough about it. Also, I didn't want to get a no. So I thought the only way to not get a no was to sort of let them control everything. So I slowly realized, though, that a couple things kept happening and for the most part, it was all of these policies falling off. Once that time would come, I was just trying to get to the payment part. Hold on here. It doesn't matter what's in here. I'm just trying to get to the part where it's asking for a check. But after recording it and listening to it with other people, I'll set the premium. I realized that it was the way that I was saying it. You use Secure App? Get me to my payment screen, please, so I don't have to multitask. A lot of that started with right when I was at them. So again, the deal's already done, right? The sale is closed. We already know what they're paying, and where it was That's cool. Yep. Just put in anything. Put in enter. Yeah, just put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's that?
All right, now we're good.
Yeah. So, just try not to pay attention to that go. Again, so before we get to that part, we have to know why, right? Why they need the coverage, why they're going with the coverage. What is happening here?
I don't know. Instead of the coverage amount being here, monthly.
I know. Don't worry about it. Well, yeah, we're all right. So one of the first mistakes I was making, though, was I didn't have this up when I was eating lunch and have prepared. Here we go. Get one that's like already done. Thanks, Hector. Thanks for helping out. All right, so we're going to be all right, here we go. All right, so I'm with Hector, right? So I get through, right, we have everything done. Hector's premium is going to be $100 a month. I get to this page right here. Hector gives me his bank account, his routing number, and everything. And I would say to Hector, so, because I need to now determine date of withdrawal immediately or later. My next question would be, Hector, when did you want to start this? That's a question I would ask. I didn't know.
August.
August 3rd will be good. And I'll be like, okay, you know, except the Secure App wouldn't let me put it out that far. I just wanted to get a sale, right? So I would ask them, when do you want to start this? And they, again, would you never do it right away. But what I learned as I got better was that people have the money, they just don't want to spend it. They know they need the coverage, they have the money, and they don't want to spend it. So last month, I wrote 64 policies. 55 of them were good for May. So I only rolled, no, my point is that 55 of them were good for May, so I only rolled 9 over. 9 out of 60 whatever weren't good to go payments. There's a couple ways there's a lot of ways to do that. The one thing that I always do, I'm there to provide a service, right? So what are reasons that we get, and I'll basically quickly kind of role play the ways that I handle those. What are reasons we get that people don't want to pay now? There's no wrong ones. No money.
Vacation.
No money till 3rd. There's a big one.
Fixed income.
I'm talking to my dog.
Say that again?
Fixed income.
Fixed income. Well, we've already, the fixed income, that would have been, we've already gone through the money sheet. We already have addressed that stuff. Now we're just
This is
getting
why they
paid.
can't start now.
Yeah.
They don't have the money. I mean, what else?
Right, so there's no money. No money till the 3rd.
We're gonna go on vacation. They ain't going on vacation.
Oh,
They don't wanna
need-
spend all their money.
Money
For others.
for
Anything else?
vacay, holidays,
Gotta look over my
Bills.
finances.
whatever. What else? What
Some
other
of
reasons?
our
that-
clients work, and they don't, their next payday.
Yeah, don't get paid. Till whenever. That's the stuff we hear all the time, right? Some people even have the mindset, you know, if it's like middle to end of the month, that, oh man, I'm not gonna get any, you know, everything now is gonna be dated for the 1st to the 3rd, that we can't collect checks during a certain part of the month. Man, this Apple TV now is just like, we've had enough of you, dude. So, damn it. I get frustrated when things don't. An only child in me, see, I'm still a work in progress. It doesn't matter what's up there because we already demonstrated the page. So a couple things I do. First of all, we're there providing a service, right?
Right.
So I'm there, I'm going through this. So when I'm on that secure app right there, first of all, I don't ask them. I'm there providing a service, of course you have to pay today. So when I'm on the secure app, regardless of what date is, the first thing I'll say to them is, okay, after we get this policy started today, when do you want to be, when do you want your future bill date to be? Or when do you want your future drafts to occur? After we get this policy started today, when do you want your future drafts? That's the first thing I'll say to them. Then the rebuttals start. Right? So what's the first one we hear?
Oh, I can't start today.
Are you gonna want this payment today?
Okay, so one at a time. So I'm sitting here, right? Because this is where the confidence, the tone, the body language, everything comes into play. So you and I are sitting there, right? And I'm looking down at my iPad and I'm looking up at you. All right, Joanne, so after we get this started today, when do you want your future payments to be?
I don't want to have it start today. I don't have the money today.
I'm a little bit confused. We just went through everything, because if that's the case, that's fine, then we need to look at this coverage.
I'm okay with the $100, but do I have to give you the money today? I mean, I have a baseball game coming tomorrow, and
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have to give me the money today. We're getting the policy written and enforced today.
Well, if
I'm
that's the
asking you
case-
about the future payments.
if that's the case, let's do it another time.
Do what another time?
Get it started another time, 'cause I don't have the money right now.
So you're kind of taking me off topic because these are different rebuttals.
That's what I get a lot. I get that a lot.
Okay, so then your issue is not collecting the payment. Your issue is the value of why they're getting the policy in the first place. Because, you understand what I'm saying? Because if this policy matters to them, they aren't, this is not a getting a good to go payment issue. This is and actually that's a little concerning about your rollover business, that we want to look at that. Because there's not enough value built. If they're going to flat out say, I don't want to do this, or we'll just do this another time, that's different than trying to just get a different payment date. They're trying to put you off completely. So we may want to look at that a little closer, if that's what you're getting. Go ahead.
So kind of where you're going is like basically, if you can't afford it today, are you really able to afford it
Every month for the rest of your life. But that's stuff that me personally, I'm doing when I do the money sheet. So for the sake of us staying on task, one of the biggest we get is when I say that to them is, oh, I have to do this now, right? So a couple of things I do before I go in. First of all, this is the 3rd of the month. So they are getting their money either Friday or now. So if they can't pay because they have no money, then we do need to go back to the money sheet, because they're in a policy that's too big for them. Because all that means is that well, I didn't expect you to be here, that's fine on the final week of the month, but not the day after you get paid. Because things you don't expect are going to happen every month for the rest of your life. All that says is that you can't afford this policy. So that's what I'll tell them now. So well, we need to go back and look at all this right now. Because if this is an issue on the 3rd, one of the, typically though, the one thing I'll do, especially middle of the month, I always use the calendar in my favor and know when next payment dates will be, right? So if we're on the 10th or later, and we're doing this, so go ahead and, all right, so after today, when we get this policy enforced, when do you want your next payment to be?
2nd.
We're going off the 3rd. So ask me the question of, I have to pay this today?
So I gotta pay this today.
Yeah, we paid today to get it enforced, but you know what? Oh man, this is perfect. Your next payment isn't gonna be all the way until August 3rd. So that gives you more than a month to get your budget straight.
Oh, absolutely, let's do this.
Cool. And then we just keep going. So that, a lot of times, that's how I get most of the middle of the month, people that want to put them off. We have to know the calendar, right? So you have to know when their next payment would be, because of the 30-day free look period, we're not going to bill them a second time within there. So, but it's within 21 business days or something.
Yeah, there's like.
Right, so that's why I say you have to know the calendar. Even if that means, there's times where I'll call home office in the morning and say, hey, we're like at the 13th. If someone tells me the 3rd, when would their next payment be? So you don't want to tell the client the wrong thing. But once you're to the 15th, 18th, 20th, then you're in the clear. So, but again, that's tone and body language. Do I have to pay today? Yeah. Well, yeah, you'll pay today, but your next payment isn't all the way until August 3rd. And that seems like forever away. Go ahead.
Wait, so you mean to tell me after whatever day of the month, they make that first initial payment, they don't make another payment for the next 30 days?
They can't won't bill them less than 21 days.
Yeah, they'll never bill less than, it's like 21 business days. It gets weird. So in your head, you want to be using no less than 7, but you can always call home office. But in other words, if we're at June 15th and someone says, I got to wait till July 3rd, okay? That's what I'm saying. No, we'll get the policy started today, but your next payment's not going to be July 3rd. It's not going to be all the way until August 3rd. So actually, you get a few free weeks.
The easiest way I explain that, it's like double dipping out of somebody's account. We're not going to draft twice within a few week period out of your account, Mr. Jawan.
That makes life a lot easier then. I didn't know that.
Well, that's why you come to these. That's good.
Here, 21 business days.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, so
3 weeks.
it's like Tyler said, we're not going to do that to you. So, but a lot of people don't realize that, and that makes August 3rd seem forever away. That's why I kind of get a little like all the way until August 3rd.
I used to say, it's like you're getting 2.5 weeks worth of free insurance.
Yep.
Because I think most people in their head are, if it's the 20th of the month, and I say I want them to come on the 3rd, they think they're gonna pay you that day, and then the next 3rd, and the next 3rd. So I think it's clear, you're making it clear that you're.
Well, and they think, well, I don't want to spend that money now. They just don't want to let go of it. So there's a few things. I mean, because you'll get people say, no, it can't be until July 3rd. So, if I'm sitting here like this on June 3rd, ask me if it can be July 3rd.
Can it be July 3rd?
Oh, no, I can't. That's a month from now. Yeah, I'm here now. These signatures, I can't do something that far out. So I don't know. I mean, what other options do we have?
I don't know, I guess I gotta pay it today.
Okay. No, they'll
That's
do
what
that.
happened to me.
Right, no, that's what they will do. Or, well, I push it away from them and I sit back.
Take away.
And I'm like, what other options do we have? And then a lot of times I'm like, well, I get the money that comes in on my card. Can you take the first payment off of this and then the next one's off of all that? Yes, I can. Now I have notability and I can get a payment authorization form right there. Or actually now on Secure App you can take 2 separate payments. But when you pull it away from them, a lot of times they find a way. And again, this isn't just because, we've already gone over the importance, but this isn't just because you want to get paid now. More importantly, things do happen. It's not hard to find a story from an agent that took a post-dated payment and someone died in that time frame. In fact, it happens more than you would think. So, and then as a last resort, because technically it would allow me, so just you shot me, I'll say, no, it has to be July 3rd. I mean, no matter what, it has to be July 3rd.
No, I just can't do it, it's gotta be July 3rd, it's gotta be.
Okay, we want to get this coverage today. I tell you what, now I know this premium was $128. We can try to do? Actually, yeah, we can do this. Let me figure it out. All right. Is it easier if we just do 50 today and then we can set up the other? $78.
And start that on July third.
Do the 78 on July 3rd. So then actually, it's not gonna be all the way until August 3rd that you have that full payment of 128. And we're getting you coverage in force right now, which you said was important. You wanna swing it that way, then it's only 50 now?
I can do 50.
All right, cool. So now we've gotten something in from them, and then you just write a second app for the $78. Home office will automatically take that $3 policy fee off because it's within the same year. Verification doesn't need to be redone because it's within 45 days.
So you can submit 2 apps, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So when you write 2 app on somebody and we're assuming it's final expense, no verification is needed for the second one.
No, because unless it's way out, but it's falling within, it's 45 days, right, Martin? That's how good?
Yeah, also you're at 45.
Yeah, so it's good for 45 days. And there's no policy fee on the second policy within the first year, so.
There's 2 separate policies then?
Mm-hmm,
And you'll use the same verification number,
Yep.
right? Okay.
yep.
Make
So-
sure you tell them it's 2 policies though.
Yeah, and I'll say that, Melissa, there's gonna be a second policy, but it's not gonna make things double difficult for you at all. It's still gonna be one draft, it's gonna be on the 3rd, like we said. And when it's like that too, I'll leave it on the back of my business card, because I do this for the client and to protect myself. I'll write down the dates on a business card, so June 3rd, $50. Or let's say it was maybe June 10th, $50. July 10th, $78.20, August 3rd, $128.10. Because then you'll get those calls from home office saying, Paul, this client called in mad, they said you didn't tell them about the payment. I'll say, not only did I tell them about the payment, not only did I explain it when they did the payment authorization form, I wrote it on the back of my business card that's stuck on their refrigerator with my other business card that's a magnet. So, but yeah. And then ultimately, there's the final straw when they just won't do anything until July 3rd. So go ahead and hit me with that one.
Nope.
But be interested, because at this point, I'm confident that this is a case where they don't have the money yet. The value has been built. We already know that they need the product. But then I'll be like, all right, I'll try. I don't even know if it's going to take something pushed out that long. They'll be like, oh wow, it did. I didn't even think it would take it. All right, because sometimes it is what it is. You don't want to blow a sale over it or ruin a relationship. But when you do this, you want to be careful, because I would right away. I'd put them on the defense to where they were dodging, because I'd be like, what do you mean? Or you just got paid today, man. You already went through all the money? No, because if they're putting up, really just wanting to, no, if I got to pay today, then we're not doing it. Well, then that's not a no money right now issue. That's an issue of, yeah, that's a value thing. So, but really, it's typically just the confidence at the beginning. I mean, not very rarely does it happen after I call me and say, all right, so we're going to get this started today. When do you want your recurring payments to be? And I just sit there waiting for the answer. And that's it. Go ahead.
I have a question going back to the last statement. You said that we could do the 2 apps. So, once you call home office, they'll combine the policy and make it one, and then they'll have another payment on the August 3rd again?
No, it's actually going to be 2 policies.
Oh, okay.
But we don't need to do, it's going to be the same, unless, well, the other thing is too, knowing their birthday, right? Because unless they have a birthday in between, which we want to be using their birthday to build our create urgency anyway. But let's just say it's today and then July, well, we couldn't do it that far. If it was June 10th and July 3rd, and it was $120, so 50 today, 70 later. So we'd get 50 today, we'd go through verification just like we normally would. We're writing down the number. You're writing the policy just as you would, but you're doing that premium at $50, which means it'll be some weird coverage amount. Submitting it, everything. As soon as we submit it, we're doing the second one for the $70. using the same in-house verification number, right? Using the same payment information, but this one we're saying the premium at $70. So it's eventually, it's gonna equal $120 in premium.
Gotcha, okay.
So they're basically staggering it. They're doing 50 today, 70 in 2 weeks, 120 in a month and a half, and then for the rest of their life.
Gotcha, okay.
It's no big deal, just for the rest of your life.
So when somebody does an increase, it's like a second policy?
It is a second policy.
It's a second policy.
Yeah. You got a bolt?
Yeah, I'll call you later.
That's cool.
Okay. Thanks,
That's cool,
everyone.
yeah, I ran you over, you're all good.
Can you do the push away one more time? Did they say no, like initially?
Oh, like when they,
Can you role play with me?
yeah. So we're doing the, but what date is it today? What day are we doing today as?
I'm just gonna say no to the, you can do the, it's the 10th, and we're trying to do it for the 3rd of next month. I wanna try.
Actually, today's the 3rd, so we can even do it for the 3rd, because you shouldn't have to push it out a month.
Right, no, it's the 10th.
Oh, okay, you want to, oh, you're setting up the role play for yourself.
Right.
Okay. All right, so June 10th, all right. All right, Mr. Sims, so, once we get this policy put in force today, when did you want your next payment to be?
Well, we can't do it today. The first payment's gonna have to be the 3rd of next month, when I get paid.
Wait, June 10th. So July 3rd.
Yeah, this is June 10th, July 3rd, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we got that approval code for today. Here's a good thing, though. Wait, let me check. Yeah, here's the good thing, though. We get this in force today. Actually, you don't even have to worry about July 3rd. Your next payment's not gonna be till August 3rd.
I was looking for the other one, the pushback. So,
You don't get to pick my solutions. No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. All right, well, no, that was my,
Okay.
so we don't have, no, we get it started today, but
Oh, well, you know what, I just can't, I don't have it till the 3rd. 3rd of next month, sorry.
3rd and next month. All right, yeah, we have that approval today. Man, all right, let's think about this. What other options do we have?
So you mean, I have to do this today?
We have the approval for today. I mean, clearly, we know you need the coverage. We went through that already. Let them figure it out. This isn't your problem, this is their
I
problem.
like that. I love that. That works right there. That right there?
Just pushing it back and sitting back and
Yeah,
switching it.
what other solutions do we have? Because now it's like, they gotta come up with something.
Yeah, I mean, so again, that's where it becomes, that's where you need to know why your client wanted your coverage in the first place.
Have you
Because
ever
that-
suggested a son or a daughter or a beneficiary pathway?
Exactly. That's what I was to say. So, I mean, because again, a lot of times people they get 2 checks, somehow.
Yeah.
You know, so-
Another check on the 3rd Wednesday,
Right.
yeah.
So again, that's where a lot of times there's.
How many times will you do that, and then you have to roll back the premium down? Bring the premium down a little bit. Does that happen a lot?
No, not by the time I get to this point. That's happening at the money sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at the money sheet because that's where I'm
So when you say
working off.
maybe this is too much coverage, maybe this is, if you can't start it now, maybe this is too much coverage for you?
Well, it depends on what their reason for can't starting it now is, If it's because sometimes it's ridiculous. Oh, I don't want to start now, man. You can, whether we're going on vacation, we're going on Christmas. Well, here's the good thing, Martin. You're only 47 years old, so you're probably going to go on a lot of vacations in your lifetime. And during that time, you're going to have to make your life insurance payment. So let's get used to that right now. Because that's what I say about Christmas, holidays, everything. But you're going to keep your policy over Christmas next year, right? Because that's really a stupid reason to not get coverage. Because you're always going to have Christmas. You're always going to have Thanksgiving. There's always going to be someone that died. You're always going to be going on vacation. You're always going to be doing all of this stuff during these times.
It's life, man.
Right. So then we do need to go back to seeing if this can work, because not only do you have to pay it during Christmas time, you gotta pay it when the water heater blows, you gotta pay it when the furnace goes. But that's stuff that I've like already handled usually, and I'll do the trial closes in there about, you know, like when I'm showing them my policy. Yeah, once we get your policy started today and this comes next week, yours is gonna look exactly the same. So we're doing all that stuff, but I'm here providing my service. Of course you gotta pay today. Like, why would you ask me something so ridiculous? Nicole, did you have to pay for that chicken today, or can you pay it when you get your check? That chicken, did you have to pay for that today, or do you pay it when you get your check? No, I mean, we, you know, so.
I put it on a credit card.
Got referrals? No, I take cards. See you, man, have a safe trip back. My stuff bad, we're getting better. We're definitely past it.
And can they use your credit card to pay with?
Yes, well, most of them. Yeah, that's a whole separate thing that we'll go, I'm sure Troy will say, hey, go over that with him, so we'll be going through.
That sequence number.
What else we got on this?
That was a question I was gonna ask. How is it possible to avoid having to use a card?
Why?
Is it possible, I'm sorry, say the question again?
Is it possible to avoid having to use a card?
Credit card.
Credit card, debit card, any kind of card?
Why do I want him to avoid it?
Well, I mean, isn't a routing account number more precise and more straight to the point? You lose a card, you're screwed, right? I mean, unless you call in to update all of the new card payment, and what majority of them are not gonna remember it.
I'm not gonna remember what?
Having to call every single company that they have attached to that single card to get it updated.
If this matters to them, they will.
You're right.
That's what I mean, that's where, and that would be a whole nother discussion, and I'm the last one to have it with, because I mean, my debit card business was atrocious, and that was because of me, not the clients.
Okay. Well,
Because once I started servicing them the same way, and I made their policies matter to them, the same way as people with checking accounts do, their policies all stay on the books. In fact, if I told you my credit card persistency, you wouldn't believe it.
What is
I'm
it?
listening.
Well, I didn't see my new commission statement,
What was it most recently?
100%.
How many you have?
$19,000 worth, I think. Let's see.
Talking about 40 clients.
They're a big part of my pay-through. More importantly, I service them the right way.
100%?
Yeah.
So
My 7-month was 100%. Hold on, I'm gonna
Must
pull it
be
up.
something that Delaware water.
Must be something.
when they're, do you ever, I'm sure you have gotten the notice that like their payment didn't go through and it says the card had
Yeah, card general
expired?
decline the card.
Do you go back to them to get their current information, or do you just have them call in?
I treat it no different than a checking account would. So there's different circumstances. First of all, once that happens once, something I learned from someone else. So you take the calendar this time, for example, I know all my clients. I have a list of all my clients whose bill date is the 1st. Their cards got ran Friday when they got paid. Home office will do that.
Instead of Monday.
Oh, you got it switched that way?
I called home office. If it's happened in the past, they will run it on that date. It's not a checking account, so we're not having overdraft fees or any, look, see where I learned it?
Yep.
All my clients who are first and thirds.
And how long have you had some of those clients?
I've been doing this since I realized I had a persistency issue with my credit cards. I always have Lincoln drafted. If they get paid on a weekend and they get paid on that Friday, I'll have Lincoln draft the date they get paid, not taking the gamble that it comes out on Monday, because they'll spend it down.
So do you have that set up in advance, or do you have to call them every?
I call them up when I look at the whole calendar for a whole year in advance. And if I see what dates the 1st and the 3rd falls on weekends or holidays, I put a note in my planner on that Monday before that Friday. I'll call Lincoln and I just call, this agent Ty Scott, first policy I want to go through, policy number 197003. Client Terry Coles, yes sir. Instead of drafting on the 3rd, which would be Monday, we want to draft it on Friday the 31st. And I go through each one just like that. I get the client's permission first before I do that.
That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but my persistency is 91%.
Right.
It's definitely worth it.
Thank you.
17,000.